Good.
Okay. I've started recording as well.
Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So last week we had a request of appreciating the 4 ashramas that we have in our culture. In our culture, so today we will put the book aside and we will look at the 4 ashramas or the 4 stages of life in our culture. So first of all, we must appreciate what is a culture. A culture is a group of people staying for an extended period in a geographical area, having and appreciating certain values. So these 4 conditions are essential to have a culture. So when a group of people have certain values that they live by, then that is called a culture of that area. Now, cultures are again of 2 types. They may be materialistic culture or spiritual culture. Materialistic culture is called as bhautik samskriti, and spiritual culture is called as adhyatmik samskriti. So, bhautik comes from the word bhuta, which means elements, and which is towards material things, which means really these material, when we say material things, it is really based on the perception of our senses. And then what is perceived by the senses is felt by the mind and thought by the intellect to lead us into making our life better. That materialistic culture. And spiritual culture, which is adhyatmic culture, that comes from Adi Atma, which means towards the self. So this humans always have a curiosity about what is it, that is in me that makes me perceive. What is it that is in me that makes me feel and think? This which is within me is beyond my senses. So, and then also this curiosity to know who is the creator, where is the creator. So, and these 2 cultures often, people feel that there are some areas where there is a materialistic culture, uh, and some areas which have a spiritual culture, but the two live hand in hand. One does not exclude the other, as we will see today. Now, what do we mean by samskriti? That is the word for culture, is samskriti. Kriti means to do, and sam means well. So that which is well done is culture. At collective level, it is samskriti. At individual level, it is samskara, which means well done individually. Now, to have a full appreciation of this, there are two other words that we should understand. One is prakriti. Prakriti means nature. So all of us and all beings in the creation have, what we call nature or instincts. For example, hunger, thirst, sleep, uh, the desire to procreate. These are all our nature. And when we act in accordance to our nature, it is also Prakriti. Acting in accordance with nature is Prakriti. Now, if we look at, life forms other than human, we will see that they will eat in proportion, they will sleep in proportion. If they are unwell, they will not eat at all. They will just follow the dictates of their instinct and of their nature. But not always with humans. So there is another word which is called Vikriti. Vikriti means, the English word that we can say describes it is perversion. So when we eat as much as is required, that is Prakriti, that is nature. But if we are greedy and we eat more than that is required, it is Vikriti. Now, this Vikriti is observed only in humans and not, very seldom, not that it is not observed in other forms, but very rare and very seldom that we would observe that. This is in humans. Why is it that we humans have that? So, humans are unique in the creation because of intellect and also free will. And how we use our free will determine whether we go to Vikriti, that is perversion, or we go to Samskriti, that is culture. Also, a wonderful point to appreciate here is, in the uh, Abrahamic religions, we are all descendants of Adam and Eve. But in the Hindu culture, we are all descendants of Manu and Shatrupa. So Manu comes, the word Manushya comes from Manu, and the word is Mana, which is mind, which is the faculty of thinking. And the Shatrupa is Shraddha Rupa. Shraddha means faith. So we are the descendants of faith and right thinking. Now, when either of these are lacking in our lives are not human lives. So when we live with faith and right thinking, then we have evolved to being true human beings. And then when we have evolved to being true human beings, that is a cultured human being. Just thinking without faith makes one cold and calculative. And cold and calculative can often lead to cruelty. And faith alone without thinking can often lead to blind faith and superstition. On either side, it is Vikriti, it is perversion. So to bring that culture, what is culture? It is an inner refinement. So when we, as I had said earlier, collectively, It is Samskriti and Prakriti, which is culture and nature. Individually, it is Samskara and Swabhava. Swabhava is also nature. We all have our unique, uh, nature, I will say. So that is individual and collective. Now, the Hindu way of life gives us a life plan such that each and everyone will be a cultured human being. We, the samskaras or the refinement starts at conception, and they, at each stage in life. So what do they mean by samskara? These are the times, if you look at it, when it is a stage in life when one starts making choices, and one, how to bring the right influences into our lives so that the choices we make will be correct. Now, culture cannot be taught, as Swamiji, as Gurudev Chinmayananji used to say. Culture cannot be taught, it has to be caught. We get it from our surroundings. So these samskaras that we did were a way of catching and refining ourselves from within. And when I was, thinking about our class today, there was a very interesting incident that came to my mind about catching. How we catch wrong influences and right influences in our life. And this incident is, of course, about a wrong incident. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was our Mukund Bhai's son who, did this. Uh, so one day he was very young. He must have been 5 or 6 years old, and he was angry with his dad. So he called his dad stupid. And of course, they immediately corrected him and said, "You do not talk like that." So this poor little child, he turned to his father and he said, "Dad, when mom is angry with you, she calls you stupid. What do I do? And how do I tell you and let you know I'm angry with you?" You see, so one incident like that, and we realize that how alert we have to be with parenting, and how the influences are caught by those who are around us. And why does that happen? Why do we have unguarded moments in our lives? We have unguarded moments in our lives because that refinement has not yet come within us. If that refinement comes within us, we will express our anger, we will know how to express it correctly and properly. We will. It is not letting down our guard. This is what, uh, you know, we don't have to be in guard with our loved ones. With our loved ones also, we can express in a very refined way. So that is the point about getting refinement. So the 4 stages in life, that was our topic for today. First, it takes the human lifespan to be that of 100 years. First 25 years are, what one is called a brahmachari. A brahmachari is a vidyarthi also. The word brahmachari means, brahmani charati, the one who deliberately walks the path to understand the Brahman, the supreme reality, the supreme truth, which is the very substratum of who I am and of the entire creation. And that, charati, that is just to clarify that word, is where vichara comes from. Vichara means to think, and to deliberately think about something. It is not just random thinking. Thoughts just keep coming in our minds. Not that way. Well disciplined thinking, that is vichara. And brahmachari is one who thinks So that way comes to learn about the supreme reality, the supreme truth. And while they are, in this 25 years, learning about the Brahman, the supreme truth, they are also getting skills according to their aptitude from their gurus. So at that time, they are told to abstain and remain away from uh, uh, partners or members of the other sex, to stay away from any in emotional and sexual involvement in life, because that is the biggest distraction at that stage and age in life. So that no distractions, remain focused. Now it doesn't mean that we have no recognition for the natural human instincts. They are beautiful and they should not be demeaned in any way. And to bring that beauty into it, again, after one has acquired their education, one has acquired skill, one engages full-fledged into uh, acquiring and enjoying life fully. That is the life of a householder when one gets married. And this householder acquires, enjoys, and what a beautiful status they are given. They are given the status of Vishnu and Lakshmi Narayan. They are the ones. Lakshmi means the goddess of wealth, and Narayana is the one who supports the entire creation. So, this householder from 25 to 50 is the one who supports a family and supports a community and supports the society. Now, if this person is not, they live there, and the code of conduct is given in our Shrutis and Smritis at each stage how one should be behaving. After the age of 50, one gradually retires. So, this is a beautiful scheme whereby the charges are handed over to the next generation. One becomes what is called a vanprastha. One graduate, it's a state of being a statesperson. You you overlook how you hand over to the next generation. Let them take over. You are, if they seek your advice, you are there to give it to them. A beautiful handover, takeover to the, from one generation to the next takes place. And for another 25 years, you watch at a distance. And as you are doing that, you turn within, because time becomes available to you. You turn within more and more for your spiritual pursuits. Dedicate now. Having worked in the world outside, in the materialistic world, having brought, wealth, well being, and enjoyment, not just for yourself, but for all those who are around you. Having brought that, now is the time to retire and to work on that further inner refinement, working towards spirituality. Find out what is that within me, and not just find out, but ultimately, in the last 25 years, you come to be established in that supreme reality, which is uh, the ultimate goal of our life. So, people often wonder and ask, what is the purpose of life? And we feel that the purpose of life is to acquire, to enjoy. Yes, certainly it is definitely one of the goals. That is why in this scheme, as we go through the 4 stages of life, we also have 4 goals to achieve. The 4 goals that we want to achieve are that of dharma, which is righteous. The word dharma is very difficult to translate into English because the meaning of the word is always with reference to a context. So, but here we will take it as righteousness. So, dharma. Then, artha is material well being. Third is kama, fulfillment of desires. And the fourth goal of life is moksha, which is ultimate freedom or liberation in life. That what is that ultimate freedom, ultimate liberation? Is that fulfillment should come in our lives. No matter what we achieve in life, no matter what position we have, what power we have in life, no matter what kind of relationships we have in life, we always feel that there is something lacking in our life. There is something that we still want to be fulfilled. That is ever eluding us. We, for a moment, yes, we do, come to enjoy and appreciate that which we have acquired. And for that period of time, our mind is quiet. But after a little while, again, the mind starts, I have everything, but, and then that little thing. So, what we are really looking for is a freedom from wanting, from desiring, from not feeling a lack of something in our lives. So that freedom will only come when we are established in our essential self, in who we really are. And that freedom is what is meant by moksha. Moksha is not after we are dead. That liberation, that is why we have a beautiful word, jivan mukta, free by living. After death, who knows? It is here and now while we are living. But till our involvements and the plan that is given to us is, of course, for a span of 100 years. And for some of us, we don't have to be a householder for till the age of 50. If we feel that we are seeking that earlier, that seeking can start and we can start moving towards that refinement. So the growth that comes in our life is not one-sided. It is a well-rounded growth, externally and internally as well. And we start with the internal growth. That is when, in the stage of brahmachari, when we acquire the values of life. And these values of life that come to us from that supreme goal, which is moksha, which is liberation, which comes from knowing the eternal supreme truth in life. And having gotten those values, we engage in life. So how do we engage in life? We engage all in a righteous way. Everything we do is done in following dharma. Now, how do we know what is dharma? Again, there are two types of dharma that called Sanatana Dharma. And the second is Varnashram Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means eternal laws. These laws do not change, no matter where we are in this world or who we are. These laws remain the same, just as the laws of Newton. Whether we come to accept or reject Newton, these laws of gravity will influence us. Why will they influence us? They're not Newton's laws. They're called Newton's laws because he brought them to us, that these are the laws that are in existence, and I am telling you about them. So we put his name. Now, the beauty of this is the Hindu culture, nobody gave their name to those laws. They call them eternal laws. Now, what are these laws? Very simple to judge. If, we humans don't come with a manual. So there is no way to know what others will like in life and what I will like in life. But if there is no one to teach us these laws, we will still know what these laws in creation are. I don't like to be cheated. No other human likes to be cheated. I don't like to be hurt. No other human being likes to hurt. I don't like being lied to. No other human beings like being lied to. So these are some, and I'm just giving some of the examples of eternal laws. These are the laws that we have, nobody, if we are taught them, wonderful. But if we are not taught them also, we will come to learn them. These are the eternal laws. Now, so if we live by these, living by these laws are the fundaments of Hinduism. There are three pillars of Hinduism: Satyam, Ahimsa, and Brahmacharya. Satyam means truth. So truth is that which does not change in the three periods of time, in the past, present, and in the future. Ahimsa, non-injury. Non-injury not only to all other forms of life, but even to one's own self. One has to be, and this non-injury is not just physical, it is also emotional and intellectual at all three levels, non-injury. And brahmacharya here does not mean you know abstinence from sex, but it really means constant sense regulation and sense control, that which means avoiding indulgence, which leads to, as we had said earlier, vikriti, which is perversion. Right in engagement of the senses. So if a life is based on these three pillars, there will be a certain inner refinement that will come within us. That inner refinement will express in each and every one of us. And there was one point that I missed to say, is I had mentioned that individually it is Sanatana Dharma is universal, and at the individual level, and it is Varnashram. Now, which means the stage of life and the flavor of the person, or the qualities of a person. Varna literally means color. Was in so color was taken to mean caste, based on the racist ideas, but each individual is unique. And if we look at how scientific classifications are made, all classifications are made based on qualities and similarities that are there in a group. Now here, the caste system, and I'm using caste because that is what we have come to understand. But this caste was not by birth. Caste, actually, there is, I think it was Manu, I don't know where it is said, but Janmana Jayate Shudraha Samskarena Dvijo Bhavati. By birth, everyone is an untouchable low caste. And it is only through samskaras, through refinement, that one becomes a Brahmin. So, this is how we go through refining ourselves in life. And so what is right for a person in the world right now, of course, is based on a constitution of a nation. But this is so beautiful because it is based on what a person's abilities are. The ability of one person to appreciate and understand will be entirely different from that of another person. So, based on that, right and wrong are determined. Having determined right and wrong, one engages, makes choices on living rightly, correctly, and that beautiful value of living expresses as culture and refinement individually and in the society as samskriti, as culture. So that is the beauty of our heritage, of our 4 stages of life. Um, I know we have a few minutes left. So if anybody has any questions, any comments, anything to add, we have some time.
We can reconnect always after the session is over, so don't worry about it.
No, but this I had planned for this. This
Okay.
was the topic for today, keeping 40 minutes in mind.
Okay.
Yeah. So anybody, any questions, any comments? Everybody's quiet.
One question, Meena.
Certainly.
So you said about Jivan Mukta.
Yes.
So actually we see, the saints being described with various words like Jivan Mukta, then there is Siddha, then there is Avatar. So what is the difference between these three?
Uh, well, they are all hopefully Jivan Muktas. Siddha is one who, there is a triangle of sadhya. Sadhya is the goal, and sadhana is the path, and the one who is walking the path is a sadhak. So one who reaches the goal, sadhya, is a siddha. So if the goal is Jivan Mukta and the person has reached that goal, he is a siddha. Okay. Now an avatar. See, that avatar is considered one who has come down. That is, the divine himself has taken that physical form. Now, every siddh, if the person is a Jivan Mukta, is a siddha, is an avatara, because that individual is no longer there. Who is functioning through that person? The divine supreme. Yes, we have our Dashavatar, but they're not, they are the 10 prominent ones. There are many avatars. Anyone who becomes an instrument of the divine is no longer the individual. Then he becomes an avatar. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it is good. Yeah.
Good. Anybody else, anything? I guess nobody has questions, so sorry?
No, it was very nice.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a few minutes left. We'll say our concluding prayers, and then if we have time, we can still say hello. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Only a few seconds left.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, look at that beautiful little one there.
Beautiful.
His younger daughter,
Oh,
Jia.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I hope, Bhadra, I did justice.
Sorry?
I hope I did justice to the topic.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, yes,
It was
absolutely.
nice, Meena. Very nice of you to. You explained it also very well.
Very well.
Very well.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm glad that we are having this meeting every Saturday. It's nice.
Yes, I
See
think
you
we're all,
all and
yes, an excuse to get together and appreciate.
yeah.
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 Thank you, Meena.
Thank you, Bhuma.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess it's
Thank you,
nice.
Meena.
Okay, Tushar, nice to see you. So, Tushar,
Nice to
it's
see
the
you
same
too.
ID. It is the same ID every week.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, same
Okay.
ID. It will
And
be
the same password.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Meena, when
So,
you explain in such a easy way that no one has any question.
I don't know.
Yes, it's true.
Jalpa, you should also come sometimes to say something because I know that you have read so many books and
Yeah.
maybe puja as
No.
well.
Meena Ben
Next
is
year,
much senior. No, Meena Ben is much senior than me.
seniority has nothing to do,
Nothing to do
Jalpa.
with it.
Nothing to do. Maybe next